Hey guys, what's going on? Wild here. Welcome back to another video. Now today guys, I bring you my updated graphics tutorial, which is a lot better than the predecessor, which I uploaded about half a year ago before the COVID pandemic set in. But guys, I cannot thank you enough for the support on that video. It is almost at 80,000 views, but at the time you're watching this video, that video would have been removed and set as private, just to make sure that no one else is going back onto that video, because yes, it still works, yes, it still works well, however, we can make it work better. And also there's a lot more graphics add-ons that I didn't show in that video that I'm going to show in this video, as well as that previous video had some issues that were updated missed of the video, so this will make things a lot clearer. Now with that said guys, let's get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to be installing today, just like last time, is Make Visuals Great Again 2.65. Now you can find this at the link in the description, along with everything we'll be downloading today. You can find them under links, as well as Mbr, which is the software I'm using to unpack these. Now again, you will have to make an account to download this. However, as you can see, I'm signed in, which makes it as simple as download this file, agree to download, and then it'll ask you download. Give it 5 seconds. It'll take 5 seconds to download. But while that is doing its thing, basically, Make Visuals Great Again is our basic visual enhancer. It's going to bring out a lot of the colors, reflections, the sunlight, the rays. This practically makes the game just look so much nicer and so much just more crisp. So go ahead and close off Make Visuals Great Again. The next thing we're going to be installing is Better Visuals 105 or 105. Now, I used this again previously in my other video. This is for emergency lights and sirens, lights, EMS lights, whatever you want to call it, anything that has anything to do with lights regarding emergency vehicles and or just vehicles at all. It'll generally just make it look better, and it'll make it look nicer, and it'll bring out the lights more and make it more prevalent in your game. Now again, I suggest you head to the website and read through this stuff. This is stuff that you guys all should note before going ahead and installing better visuals, but it's practically just the settings you will need to minimally have to install this graphics pack. Now when you're ready to go through, just go ahead and install. It'll come down, give it a couple of seconds, and without further ado, it'll most likely start installing. You can keep eyes on that thing until it does happen. You gonna download for me? You gonna be nice? You gonna do it? There we go. Alright, it's downloaded. Now, once that one's done, we're going to be moving over to the Terov series graphics enhancers. Now, this is the bulk of what we're going to be using to make the game look better. So originally, you have Make Visuals Great Again, which makes the game look good. Makes it look so much better than it does on its own. Then you have Better Visuals, which is bringing out, focusing on one area, just emergency lights, making it look really nice and complementing MVGA in what it does as they both work together. But then you come to the Terov series graphics enhancers, which is going to be something that's just going to make your game better than a lot of people's, especially if you're on the high graphics side. Now, I'd like to add that these are optional. All of the things I'm about to show you from installing this website, it's optional. You do not have to install it, but I would guarantee it to those who at least have a GTX 1050 or the equivalent in a Radeon line of manufacturing. I'm not sure what that is, but that is what I would recommend. If you do have that, this will work fine, but just note that this is add-ons that will also not drastically reduce the performance of your game, but it will knock it down by at least 3 FPS to a consistency. Now, one thing I had on the previous video is where do I download the graphics pack from. Now, Terov updated his website. I will leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description. Great guy. But he updated his website after the video, which means a lot of people weren't able to get to this stuff. But the things we're going to be installing are LA Revo. So go ahead and click on that, and that'll take you to the page. Simple. Google's going to ask you to do some other check, virus scan. You can just download straight off. You don't need to worry about that. Once that's done, you can go back and close that. So that should have downloaded the LA Revo. Now that's for our roads. That's mainly what that's going to focus on. It's just going to make the roads look better, retexturize the roads to make them look nicer. Now the next thing is LA Vegetation. Now just to note before we do go into the installation of this, you will have to follow my steps exactly with the Terov series graphics packs. You cannot change them, chop them. If you are installing LA Vegetation or LA Roads, you cannot get one or the other. You have to install both in the order I install it. So please keep a mind on that. Next things we're going to be installing is Mbr Clouds. This makes the clouds look really, really nice, and it just works so well in game. Trust me, I didn't have this in my previous graphics pack, and I went and downloaded it to see what it was like prior to making this video, and that was almost 2 weeks ago, and I've seen a drastic improvement in my game and what it looks like, especially in the sky and especially with the weather. So again, highly recommended, but these are all optional. The next and final thing we'll be grabbing from this website is under download latest graphics packs, and that is Conversion Indian Ocean V1.3 Clear Water. This makes any water look amazing, just beautiful. So if you're looking for something realistic, I wouldn't recommend installing this. However, it just makes everything look so good, especially the ocean, especially the places with reefs, and especially if you do end up playing a role in a type of marine-based environment with your roleplay, 100% this is for you. Now, while those are all installing, I will wait, and these can take a while. They are quite large graphics packs, so I'll get back to you as soon as they are done, so I suggest you pause the video here. Alrighty guys, once you've installed all of your graphics visual enhancers, go ahead and check that over by hitting to your downloads. If you're using another browser, you can just find it via downloads or in your File Explorer downloads. Make sure you have better visuals and make visuals great again. Again, the two mandatory files that we'll need. The optionals that you can have are LAV Revo, LA Vegetation, Mbr Clouds, and Indian Ocean. Now, these are all things that are optional, like I said at the beginning of the video. There is no need for a browser anymore. You should be good to close that. If you've installed everything, don't continue the video from now. If you haven't installed everything, pause and wait until you have. Now, I'm going to show you one of two ways to get to your FiveM application data. This is the way I do it. Other people do it via going and right-clicking on the Windows tab, going Run, searching for local app data, and then they go ahead and pull up to this file location here, and then once you find FiveM, double-click on that, that'll take you where you need to go. But the way I do it is go to FiveM, right-click on FiveM, go to Open File Location, go to Open File Location. It's going to take you to a lot of shortcuts. If this one doesn't work for you, do the other way. Now, you're going to end up in either a folder called FiveM with all of these files here, or you're going to end up with a folder with 3 files. It's going to be FiveM, FiveM Single Player, and a snail icon folder that says FiveM Application Data. Go ahead and click on the snail icon folder. That'll take you to this file without these 3 here. Now, the first thing you want to be doing is going back to Downloads. Do not do anything else, just wait here. Head to Downloads. Go ahead and open Make Visuals Great Again, okay? Once you've opened Make Visuals Great Again, go to Make Visuals Great Again, and Manual Installation, go to Files, and wait there. Now, once you're back on your File Explorer, hit the back button once. The back arrow up top, that's going to take you back to the same directory you were at before. Now, before you go ahead with the installation, make sure you have Logs, Crashes, Citizen, Cache, and Bin. Mods and plugins are 2 things that I've manually added for, of course, mods and plugins. But Logs, Crashes, Citizen, Cache, and Bin all need to be here. If they're not there, you're not in the right place. Now go ahead and head over to Citizen, go to Common, go to Data, and wait here. Now go back into your Make Visual Great Again file and go Update, update.rpf, go to Common, Data, highlight everything in here, time cycle through to HBO settings.xml, right click, paste. It will ask you to replace the files in the destination if you've had Make Visuals Great Again previously installed, like I have, or if you have another file installed that makes your game look better. I would advise doing this with a clean FiveM, no guarantees. Now, once that's done, go ahead and head back into your Make Visuals Great Again, go to x64, and highlight the textures folder by clicking on it once, then drag and drop it. This is going to ask you to replace files in destination if you already have it installed. It most likely will not if you don't. Now, that's all of that installed, but do not go anywhere on your File Explorer yet before closing Make Visuals Great Again. We won't be needing that anymore. Now head over to Downloads once again like we had previously. It's going to take you back over to here, open Better Visuals, and whilst in the middle of that, close any WinRAR prompts that pop up in your face, and go in the back arrow once again. It's going to take you back to where you were. Now go to Better Visuals, Mod Settings, and choose any one of these 3 settings. They install the same way. I use the bright, and that's what I would highly recommend to everybody. Go ahead and highlight your Visual Settings.dat file by clicking on it once, drag and drop, and replace the file in the destination. It will ask you to do this for everybody. If it doesn't, you haven't installed MVGA right so far. Now, once you've done that, go ahead and close Better Visuals. You won't be needing that anymore. Now head back through. You should head back to Data, back to Common, and then back to where the Citizen Crashes Logs Cache and Bin folder can be found. This should be under FiveM Application Data or just FiveM. Now go ahead and wait there. Click on Downloads once again. Now, this is where I have a nit to pick. The only thing you should be opening at this point is Conversion LA Vegetation. Do not touch Mbr Clouds. Do not touch Indian Ocean. Do not touch LA Revo. I had a lot of people say in the comments, my platform folder isn't there. My levels folder isn't there. The reason it wasn't there is because you need to install LA Vegetation first. If you want to install Indian Ocean, Mbr Clouds, or LA Revo, make sure you do LA Vegetation first, okay? And once you've done that, go ahead and click the back button in your File Explorer to take you back to where you need to be. Go to conversion.la vegetation, highlight the Citizen folder by clicking on it once, and drag and drop. This is going to be the larger transmissions as they are larger files, okay? It's going to ask me to replace a fair amount of files, which I will need to do, which may take a bit of time. If you've previously used my old graphics pack, keep following along with these instructions to avoid any conflicts in files, but again, it will ask you to replace files if you previously have LA Vegetation installed. If you do not, it will not, apart from maybe 2 or 3. Now go ahead and close conversion.la vegetation. That's all we need for that. Now once you've closed that, remain in the local FiveM area where you're seeing Citizen Crashes Logs, Cache, and Bin. Now go click on Downloads again. Now what you're opening this time, and I'm doing this in no particular order, except I will recommend doing it in this order, open LA Revo. This is going to be for LA roads. Now, close any WinRAR pumps again, then head back over and hit the back button. It's going to take you back to where you were before. Now, follow my steps exactly. Some people got lost in this process, so I suggest you follow suit. Double click on Citizen. Head to Platform. Head to Levels. Head to GTA 5. And remain here. Completed conversion. Citizen, Platform, Levels, GTA 5. Highlight _city E through to generic, hit Control C. It's going to copy some things, but I would like to mention now, the only file you should have in here is generic and props, and maybe cloud hats, but you shouldn't have any other stuff there. It will most likely just be props. Don't matter if it's generic as well, but make sure that you have a clean folder for this. Now go ahead and paste the files in the destination, like so. Just make sure you're not doing it on top of a folder. And for me, it's going to ask me to replace all files. Okay? Paste. There we go. So that's going to take a bit of a minute. It's quite large, and it's got a lot to move. While that's doing so, I'm going to explain this really quickly. This is where all of your extras are going. This is where the water stuff's going. This is where all of the cloud hat stuff is going. This is just practically what it goes over, okay? Now, replace all files in destination. If it asks you to, again, if it's asking you to replace files in destination, even though you haven't installed this before, just do it. It doesn't matter. It won't change anything necessarily important. But once you've installed those, by copying and paste them, close LA Revo, but do not exit out of this area yet. Remain there. Hit Downloads again. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do Mbr Clouds. Open Mbr Clouds. Once you've opened Mbr Clouds, again, like we have done previously, hit the back arrow and remain here. Click on Conversion Mbr Clouds, go to Citizen, Platform, Levels, GTA 5, click on Cloud Hats, drag and drop that there. It's going to ask me to replace the files as I've previously installed it. Now, you would also have noticed there was a platform folder back here. Do not install that, it's just the same file again. You can do it that way if you want. I don't know why it's there, but it's the same thing. I recommend going with this one. Now, once that's done, close Mbr Clouds. There is no need for it anymore. Now, what you should be doing is heading back to downloads to install the final file. And I know it's been a lot, and thank you for sticking around so much. Now, Conversion Indian Ocean. I cannot say how well this makes your ocean look. It makes it look amazing. Now, hit the back button again. It's going to take you to this same folder. Double click on Conversion Indian. I will recommend going to smaller waves. It just makes it look better and it suits the graphics better. Now, this is something that I have to explain that other people didn't, and I'm sorry if I'm taking up your time. Skip through the showcase now, it's linked in the description. However, if you aren't installing this, you are all good and free to click off now, but I recommend you watch to the end just to make sure everything is good. But Low clarity, max clarity, and medium clarity are how clear the water is. So if you want really like foggy type of water, but it still has that really nice reflection and the ripples that you would see in a deluxe pool, then use low clarity. If you want that sort of effect again, but just clearer water, use medium. But if you want amazing water, I'm going max clarity. That's what you should be using. Double click on max clarity. Okay, that's the one you want to be using. I would suggest that. It just makes the ocean look best. Now, once you've opened to which option you want, hit back all the way through until you get back to the citizen, cache, bin, crashes, and logs. The reason I ask people to stay there is because if they go back and hit different buttons, it messes up where they're going. So, follow the file path that this gives you to get where you need to go. So go to citizen, common, data, levels, GTA 5, and water.xml, right? So go to citizen, common, data, levels, GTA 5, and then you see weather and water. Click on the water XML. Drag and drop it there. Place the file in the destination. Alright? Once that's done, hit back all the way through till you get to your main citizen folder. Now, that's all we have to install. Funnily enough, that took a while, but just to check off, you should have installed in this order: Make Visuals Great Again, Better Visuals, LA Revo, LA Vegetation, Indian Ocean, and Clouds. Again, you have to install LA Vegetation first, but you can install everything else in no particular order after you've done Make Visuals Great Again and Better Visuals. Now, once that is done, ladies and gentlemen, you are all finished off with your downloads and your installation of the files. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did hope you went in to enjoy today's video. The showcase is at the end of the video, so if you do want to see what it looks like in-game before installing, you have either gone to back into the video or you aren't going far enough. But if you have watched all the way through and installed everything, I really appreciate you doing so. I just want to highlight a couple of things. There will be file collisions. File collisions are random things that occur that you cannot change, and it's unlucky. Just reinstall FiveM and do the process again. It'll be absolutely fine. Next thing is, I would recommend doing this with a clean FiveM folder. The third thing is, guys, I cannot thank you enough for the support that has been shown on my previous video. It's skyrocketed. It has done 80,000 views, and I can't be thankful enough for just doing a video to help people that's now turned into something massive and brought me over 300 subscribers. So thank you so much, guys. Another thing I would like to say is if you are sticking around, please consider subscribing. I upload FiveM and GTA RP content all the time on the Midwest RP server. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please stick around, subscribe, and also if you do want to see more of these tutorials, I've already done a Siren tutorial which is still up to date, and I'm doing another updated graphics tutorial. Let me know in the comments down below. Please, I've got a lot of things to show. Also, if you want to see my settings for in-game, they will be at the end of the video, just before it ends. You'll be able to see the settings that I use in-game, and a lot of people have asked me about as to how I get my game to look. With that said, guys, that's all from me, and I did hope you went on to enjoy. Sorry for the lengthy video, there is just a lot to get through. Now, with that said, enjoy the showcase, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Maybe I'll leave, maybe, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down.